a little bit nervous, but mostly very, very excited. Very, very happy that, the record that I worked on like for the past year is finally coming out. Worked on it from January to about July, like end of July, and that's when it finally like really finished like shape wise. And from then on, it was just like finishing touches, whether it was production or mixing and mastering. And it's just been, it was like half a year of going back and forth between Houston and LA for 2 weeks at a time, like but back and forth, back and forth. And very long, arduous, adventurous, and can't wait for everyone to hear it. So I'm not a religious person. I've always loved the name Gabriel and can't really explain why. But when it came time to name the record, I didn't like I wanted to name it something memorable, but not something overly convoluted and like it would turn out cheesy. And I didn't want anything with like a I don't know like a weird backstory. Like it doesn't have to be too deep. I think I was like maybe 4 or 5 tracks deep, and the only songs I had were like "Somebody," "Touch," "Get It," and "Hell Heaven," and none of them really
Mhm.
captured how I felt about the record. And for a little bit of time, I was like talking to my manager, and I got sick of calling it the album. So I was just like, why don't we just call this project Gabriel for now, just as a
Mhm.
placeholder? And I started to think that maybe naming an album isn't so different from naming your child, and I feel like everyone's so intrigued about it, and it's kind of great, and it's working. Like people like they'll remember it. I think that you can expect a more mature sound. You can expect a much more varied sound,
Yep.
and songs that are definitely more personal and candid, and that like than they've ever been before. They're very honest and raw. Ooh, I mean, I love them all like they're my children, honestly, like equally to death. But there is a track, it's track 7, Hell Heaven, that I'm very excited for
Mhm.
people to hear. And I've talked about it a lot before too. I feel like it kind of like the production is so varied. Like I just love how much ear candy there is into it. And I feel like it'll be a really special moment when I play it on tour. So oh, definitely like all of my favorites. Like definitely Radiohead, definitely Frank Ocean, definitely John Mayer, like all of my standards. Oh, to perform live, get it for sure, get it for sure. I
Oh,
mean, it's just like there's just like so much energy in it. Like I'm gonna be playing in London like in literally 1 month. So very excited to see how they react. I'm not sure emotional is the word that I would use for I think definitely more personal than anything. I mean, definitely there's still like honest like emotions like inside of it, but it's not like overly like sad by any means. It's just very like candid. The writing process was largely the same in terms of like me being by myself and like writing the music like in my studio back in Houston, but it was more I feel like I've learned a lot more in terms of like where to go as like a songwriter in terms of like melody or like cadence or rhythm. And it was very intentionally done so that like I don't know, I feel like I've just gotten better as a songwriter, like in terms of like how I word things and like where I go melody wise. So yeah, definitely have grown. I hope that Game becomes the album that kind of defines me as an artist. So I hope that it's like you could just give it to someone and be like, this is Keshi, like as refined as it can be. So I would definitely say get it.
get it.
Not because like it's like the most representative song of the whole album, but I feel like every song is so different. Like hopefully get it is intriguing enough to them that they'll continue to listen to the rest of the album. Um, it's like we listed the track order
Mhm.
in like or not we like I was adamant on listening the track order in like a certain way, so that like you go on a sort of ups and downs throughout the whole album. there's actually a lot of demos that my manager and my team have heard that they've urged me time and time again to put out, but I refuse. Um, because like I just feel like it's not in line with what my vision is for myself as an artist. Beside You was one of those songs, actually. Like it's not that I didn't want to put it out. It's just like I would not finish it. I was just like I was dragging my feet to finish Beside You. I was actually really stuck on Beside You. And my manager and my A&R were like, please finish the song. Like, please do it. Um, yeah, and I'm so glad that I did. And I'm sure like Marion is happy for it too, because he had sent me that the original track, and like it took me like months to finish it. And it wasn't because I didn't want to finish it. I was just like stuck. So yeah. Shout out to my amazing stylist for hooking me up with just the most amazing looks. It's also like a partnership in terms of like I trust what she picks out for me, but also she knows like sort of the pieces that I gravitate towards and where my style lies, and like she knows like the silhouettes that I gravitate towards, and what I love to wear and what I feel comfortable wearing. But at the same time, she pushes my boundaries in terms of like I would have never thought that like I would look good in certain things either. So yeah, she's done an amazing job. And also like even this like cardigan here, like this is gifted from her, and it's amazing, and it's cozy, and I wear it all the time. So yeah, so writer's block was happening to me like I think right after I finished Always
Hmm.
and the trilogy EP, because it started to feel really stagnant and like the same. Like I wasn't making music that was like pushing boundaries, and it just like everything sounded the same to me, and I was getting like really fed up with myself. And it
Hmm.
wasn't until I met Ely, my executive producer for Gabriel over in LA,
Right.
and it wasn't until I started making music with him that it started to feel like I was having fun making music again.
Hmm.
And like I feel like he really brought out the best in me like as an artist, and like I brought out the best in him as like a producer.
Hmm.
And I think collaboration is a really great way to help with writer's block for
Hmm.
sure. It
Right.
was more like being with another person in the room making music was inspiring. Like
Hmm.
just having a whole other person to make music with was so much fun. And yeah, when I wrote Gabriel, like the whole record, there was never a time that I felt like I had writer's block. So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
At the end of the day, it's like it gets more and more blurred. Like we're the same. It's just about, um, I think it was more so like when I was making the trilogy records and everything before I was writing as Keshi. And for this sort of album, like I'm writing about it. I'm writing about Keshi as the project and how it kind of impacts me and how I'm processing through like the upwards trajectory of like popularity and the trade-off in privacy and private time. And you know, having the success is really nice, but does it fulfill you at the end of the day? And I find that I'm happiest when I'm making music. Like honestly, like the whole world goes quiet when I'm in the studio, and it's like so peaceful. So yeah. Absolutely. Like we're still getting everything worked out, but I would love, like, I want nothing more than to go to Southeast Asia. I've been wanting to go to Southeast Asia ever since I started like Keshi, because like I feel like some of my first like ride or die fans like were from Southeast Asia, and like it was just the most validating thing in the world to know that there were people like across the world that were listening to my music that I was making in my bedroom, like when I started. So, beyond stoked to go and play shows, and I feel like they're gonna be crazy. Go. The thing that I'm looking forward to most, besides the food, is to honestly see like the fans like in like face to face, like playing shows. That's always like what this is all about for me. But yeah, definitely excited to do it where I have like really solid Asian food like all the time, because like in the States, like you have to like really good Asian food, like authentic Asian food is like it's you can find it, but like you have to know where to go. And I only live in like two states, which is like California and in Texas for the most part. So like for it to be like at my disposal everywhere I go is like very exciting to me. For sure. Everyone, thank you so much for your time. I say this time and time again, but like I would have never believed that like I would have listeners at all, and like that there are people on the other side of the world like waiting for me to come and play shows is a dream come true. So thank you so much for your time. I can't wait to play for y'all.